What up guys, Alex is here, GuitarForce.com. This is a lesson on how to play Burning of the Midnight Lamp by Jimi Hendrix, which was kindly supported and requested by David, so big thanks goes out to him. This lesson is going to be concentrating on sort of a combination of two versions that Jimi did. The first one is from the electric Ladyland, the studio version of course, and the second is from his BBC sessions, and in particular the solo part is taken from that session. But also I'm going to show you another alternate way which Jimi used when he did the BBC sessions, you know, applying to the some of the parts from the studio version. Speaking of Jimi Hendrix, you know, of course I have to mention my course, which is called the Get Experienced. If you hadn't had a chance to check it out, please do. Basically it's a huge course which concentrates on Jimi Hendrix's style of playing. There is tons of information, you know, and a lot of cool stuff. I'm gonna leave the link in the description box down below. You can see the video explaining it in more detail, so I'm not gonna talk about it in this video. If you're interested, please check that out. As far as the tuning for this lesson, we're gonna be in standard tuning, and it's for a couple of reasons. First reason is because it's easier to explain the chord progressions, so we don't have a lot of sharps or flats, you know, stuff like that. So, and also the studio version is also recorded in standard tuning, if I'm not mistaken. Also, the tabs are going to be available for download at GuitarForce.com. Unfortunately, I don't have the backing track, so we're just going to have the guitar samples. And as far as the sound, again, I was using the VST plugin Guitar Rig. I'm going to show you the picture of the preset right now, and while you're checking it out, I'm going to play you my low E string so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Alright guys, so let's go for the close-up and start this lesson. Okay, so the intro of the song goes like this. Okay, so I'm going to disengage the wah pedal and just going to play through this intro part without it so you can hear all of the notes. So it starts off with the 3rd fret on the low E string, then we go 3rd fret on A, 3rd fret on D, then we go 2nd fret on D string, then we have 3rd fret to the 5th on A string, then we have a grace note, a quick hammer on from 3rd to 5th fret, then back to the 3rd fret 2 times, so first part, then we go to the 1st fret on low E, 3-2 on D, 3rd fret on A, then we have again another grace note hammer on from 3rd to the 5th fret, 2nd fret on D, 3rd fret on A, 1st fret on low E. So this is the 2nd part. Then we have 1st fret on A string, 3rd fret to the 2nd on D, 3rd fret on A to 5. Then we have another grace note here, hammer on from 3rd to 5th. Then we have 3-5, and then we have 2nd fret on D. stay on these notes for 2 beats, and then we have, so it's 2, 3, 2 on D, then 5 on A, back to the 2nd fret on D. So all together slowly, excuse me, all together slowly, the whole intro part goes like this. Okay, so that's the figure, the intro part, and we play it 2 times for the intro. Okay, so after the intro we go into the verses, and we have this chord progression which goes like this. Okay, so pretty much here we are playing just chords. So it starts off with an F major for 1 measure for 4 beats. Then we go to D minor for 1 bar. Then we go to B. Then we have a quick passing chord here, E flat to E major. Back down to the C major chord, to G. Then we are playing the D chord, D major, F. Again we have a passing chord, an F sharp, and then we go into G, and we stay on this chord for 3 bars, and the 4th bar we hit the chord and let it ring out. So as you can see, like I said, it's all based on the chords, and you know, Jimmy would play in the different positions, obviously, not necessarily the way I played it like that. I mean, you can play in different positions as well. If you know, for example, the cage system, you know, you can use different shapes of the chords. You can stay in one place or moving around, and you know, using different voicings and stuff like that. If you're not familiar with that, I can suggest you check out my caged fretboard frenzy system, which is based on that, showing the 3 different chord families, and also the pentatonics shapes, and also the arpeggios. So if you're interested, please check it out. Okay, so a couple of things to mention here. There is also a second guitar in the end of, particularly when we go to the last chord, the G chord, when we stay on it. And I'm going to show you a couple of ways how you can do it. Now, on the original recording, on the studio recording, the second guitar is playing on the upper strings here, and it goes like this. So using 6s here, okay, in a specific rhythmical figure. So we're playing 16th notes where you pick, alternate basically between the G and the high E strings. So the first double stop is on the 16th fret on G and 15 on high E. Then for a short period of time we go to the 17th fret on both strings, returning back to the first 6 double stop. Then we have, so it's 2 passing here double stops. So the first one is on the 17th fret, then we go to 18, and we reach 19th fret here, again both strings, again playing this rhythmical figure. Then for a short period of time, again we go to up, so it's going to be 21st fret on the G and 20 on high E, and then returning to the 19th fret. And also keep in mind that Jimi would play different rhythmical figures based on these double stops on the sixes, and sometimes, you know, he would play it even earlier when going even to the D chord, right? Then to F sharp, and then going to G. So he would start as early as the D chord, for example, and again he would take this Mixolydian or the major 6 double stop, you know, and start with D. Then as the progression goes to F, so he would play an F, then to F sharp, and then reaching the G chord, and he would play here. And again, you know, like I said, he would use every time a different rhythmical pattern, changing the double stop here. Another way how you can approach this, and that's actually what Jimi did on the BBC studio sessions, when he would go to the G chord, he would start playing again the sixes, but he would take it a octave lower, so he would play it like this. Okay, so he would play this figure instead of just staying on the G chord. So again, it's a double stop. So this one is on the 4th fret, G string, high E 3rd. And then again, he would take the same approach as we did here, but like I said, you know, an octave down. So he would go to the up to the 7th fret, then goes to this double stop, which is on 9 and 8. Going back to 7, then chromatically go to 6, 5, and then just hit the chord, the double stop or the chord, you know, for that last 4th bar of the chord progression, the G chord. Right, so after the verse we go back to playing the intro part, which is exactly the same thing as we did in the beginning. The only difference is that we play it only once instead of 2 times. After that we go into verse number 2, which is exactly the same as we did for verse number 1, exactly the same chord progression. And then we go into the solo, and before we start breaking down the solo, I'm going to show you the rhythm guitar, what is playing underneath the solo. So it goes like this. Okay, so as you can see, it's kind of 2 parts. So we have a B flat chord major going to C to G, and we play it for 2 times. Then we have an F major for 1 bar going to G major, 1 bar. Then again F major, half bar, and then we have a C chord, but also with the low E string open, going to G. And that's the chord progression for the solo. Okay, so keep in mind that this solo is taken from the BBC sessions. And first of all, I'm going to demonstrate the solo by playing with the wah and also up to speed, so you can get the feel of the solo all together. Then we're going to break it down and slow it down. So it goes like this.
Wow.
Okay, so we're going to break down the solo into licks and phrases. The first one goes like this. So it starts off with the dead string hit, and this is just to outline the first beat of the bar, because the next note is going to be on the off beat, which is a bend on high E string, 13th fret, and it's a half step bend, which is followed right away by the full step bend. Then we have another bend on the same string, same fret. Then we play 13 to 10. Then we go to B string, and we have a quick bend and release on 13th fret on the B string, and then pull off to 11. So the whole phrase, we have this. Next phrase goes like this. So it's 3 more bends on the B string, 13th fret. Then the third one, we bend up the string, and then we have 13 to 11. Then we have a pull off 13 to 11 on the same string. Then we have 12 on G and 11 on the B string. So one more time. Next phrase. So we go up to the 17th frets of the G string, we bend it up, and we go to 15 on B, high E 15. Then we have bend on the B string, 18th fret, so we have this. And then we have 15 on high E, 18 to 15 on B, and then G string, 17th fret, bend it up, bring it down. So all together. Okay, then we have some dead strings, kind of 8th, 16th notes, just playing dead strings. Then the next phrase goes like this. So it starts off with a quick bend. We go down to the first position of the G minor pentatonic. The whole solo is based on the G minor pentatonic, by the way. So we have a bend on the G string, 5th fret, going to 3rd fret on B, 3 on high E. Then we have a bend on the 6th fret of the B string. Then we have, which is 3 on high E. Then we go to B string playing 6 to 3. Then we bend the G string on the 5th fret. So we have this. Then we have, which is 3rd fret on B, 3rd on high E. Then we play 6 to 3 on B, 5 on G. And then we have, which is a quick pull off, 5 to 3 on G string, 5 on D. And then we have hammer on pull off, 3, 5, 3 on the G string, 5 on the D, and 3rd fret on the G string. So one more time, the whole phrase slowly goes like this. Then the next phrase starts off with this 3rd fret on the G string, goes like this slowly. So it's 3rd fret on the G, that's some vibrato. Then we go 3rd fret on the D, going to the 5th fret. And then we go 3, 5 on the D string. And then we play again 5, 3 and pick it one more time. I'm sorry, 3, 5 on the D string and pick it one more time. So all together it's going to be like this. Okay, next phrase. So it starts off with 3rd fret on the B string. Then we have a kind of gradual bend and release on the 6th fret of the high E string. And then we play 3rd fret on high E, 3rd fret on B, going to 6th fret, bend up. Then we have 3 on high E, 6, 2, 3 on the B string, 3rd fret on high E, and then bend the B string on the 6th fret again. So slowly. One more time. Then the next part goes like this. So it starts off with the 3rd fret on high E, then we'll go 6, 3 on the B, 5th fret G string, bend it up, then we play 3rd fret on B, 3rd fret on high E, 6 to 3 on B, then on G string, 5th fret, bend it up, bring it down, pull off to 3, then play pull off 5 to 3, then we have 5 on D, and then quick hammer on from 3rd fret to the 5th on G string. Then we have a grace note with the pull off on the same string, same fret, so 3, 5, 3, 5 on the D string. So one more time slowly. One more time. And then after that, the last part of the solo goes like this. So we have some trills going on here. First one starts off on the G string between 3rd and 5th frets, and we play it for 2 beats. Then we have another trill which is on the B string between 6th fret and 8th fret, again for 2 beats, and then for the next bar, the whole bar, we have again back to the G string trill between 3rd and 5th fret. And then you can play the open strings and, you know, use the whammy bar to create kind of dive bomb. Okay, so that's the whole solo. Now I'm going to play all of the licks together slowly so you can see what's going on. It goes like this. Okay, so after the solo we return to playing the intro again, that part, and after that we'll go into the 3rd verse, which is exactly the same thing as we did previously. One thing I have to mention, which I didn't mention before, is when you go to the G chord in the end of the chord progression, and I mentioned that you play the 6s, the double stops, but what you can do, and what Jimmy did during live versions, I didn't mention it, instead of playing, you know, like that, alternating between the 2 strings, he would play it like a tremolo picking. Okay, so that's the only thing that I forgot to mention. And then after that, the ending, now on the original recording, on the studio recording, the song fades out. And during the live version, what he did is he took the intro part and he did that. So he would take the first part of the intro, he would start playing it here up until this moment. Then he would take this figure and he move up 2 frets. So next one he would start on the 5th fret. And then same idea happens for the next measure. So he would take it up 2 frets and he would start playing it on the 7th fret. then he would finish it off with the chord. And that's how the song ends. Okay guys, so that brings us to the end of this lesson. Hope it was useful and helpful to you. If you did like the lesson, please give it a thumbs up. Also comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar related stuff. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, let the force be with you.